This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the cuz sent you. Well, hello everybody. Good evening and welcome to my show. It's called Scratch Building Workshop with Cousin Vinny. Hello, Wicked Insanity, Dave BNSF N Scale, Steve Childers, Sparky 107, CP 368, Norman Rowe, Steve 87 PSAP, Dragon Lover 68. How's it going, buddy? Glad you could make it in tonight. I have a couple of my students waiting in the basement down there, and I will get to them in a minute. But tonight we're going to do, you guys know that I've been doing a build for Mr. Roy Eltham. Sorry, I always get that screwed up. Anyhow, I'm going to show you how I did these archways tonight. So you guys, hope you stay tuned and watch me do that. Anyhow, I have been doing this clinic for a while. I don't know, I think it's probably about 2 months now. And the class has dwindled down to 2. And one of them, I'll go ahead and bring him up right now. And I will bring the other person up right now. And we have here, let's see, how do I do it? There you go. Hey, all right.
Hello.
How you doing? Sherry, how's it going? Anyhow, we have Sean McGee up on the top, and we have Z Fantasy Trains down below. How you guys doing?
Good. Good. Doing good here.
No, Sparky, I didn't kick everyone out. They just got so smart they decided to leave. Anyhow,
hi everybody.
Sean did send me some pictures of a build that he did, and it came out really good. And I gave him a little bit of critique on it. And he accepted the critique and he agrees with I told him about it. Sean, do you want to show that up there right now?
Yep, sure. Just I'm going to flip to my other camera.
I forgot how to do this. I got to move you over to here, right? No. And we got Nathan DeLay coming in. Go. Hello, Nathan. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, if everybody can see.
I forgot how to get to, let me see, I think I just pull you over here. Is that it? Yeah, and then I just go to that. There you go. All right, I remembered.
If everybody can see that, okay.
Move it back from the camera a little bit. You're too close to the camera.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better.
Oh, sorry. I have to like reset my computer. My computer does that right now. The camera's not working.
So what I had told Sean when he first sent me the pictures, I thought that the building was a little bit too tall, and he agreed with me. So I don't know if he's going to make any changes to it or just chalk it up as an experience.
Well, if I can find a way to cut the bottom part of it off.
You know, you can do that, but you'll have to make your doors a little bit bigger. You have to make your doors taller.
But if you put if you put the side building up to it.
Turn it the other way. You're upside down. There you go.
You know, if you put that.
Actually, you are correct. When you put the side building on it, it looks okay.
Yeah.
I would leave it alone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Put some plumbing on there coming out of the building, going into the shed, and you'd be okay.
Okay. The one thing that I did notice is that for the loading dock, the doors are really wide, but not quite high enough.
You know, garage doors, they come in all different sizes. I usually go with like either a 10 or 12 foot wide and usually a 12 foot tall.
Right.
On in any scale, in HO or N scale. That's the size I would make the door.
Okay. Well, these are 12 by 12 then.
Well, then you should be okay, because I mean they have to have room around the sides of the truck. Now maybe I think the trucks are, and Roy Container Man's here tonight, and he'll probably correct me on this, but I think a semi trailer is 8 feet or 8.5 feet wide. I'm not 100% sure on that. So Roy Hardwick, if you are in here, which I think you are, hello James Galton, how's it going, buddy? William Bryant, nice to see you in here. Dave Strains, hello. Roy Eltham, how's it going, buddy?
So what I was thinking, Vinny, is, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe if I put it this way. So the loading area would be kind of sunken from ground level. And what I was looking at doing was, you know, they have the black foam pads that go around the door to seal up against the back of the trailer.
Yes, they do, and you're correct. You can do
That's
that.
kind of what I was getting at. Like, this would be fine. Yeah, I guess maybe if you were backing in. But you wouldn't be backing right into, I would think, a floor level.
And so here's Roy's answer to that. Loading doors for trailers would only be 9 feet. This trailer is 8 foot 6 inches wide.
Yeah.
So Jerry, I know you haven't been in class that much, but what I told Sean to do is to take his imagination and build a building. And that's what he did with the extra building. Besides the shed, he built that extra building. So now I'm going to ask you to do the same.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind. I just can't seem to get any time to build. I got kidnapped to Albuquerque. And and now I don't know. I just feel so far behind. I'll catch up eventually, but.
Well, you know, the thing is, you don't live that far from me. You can come over anytime, and I can give you some personal instructions real quick. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so you can catch up with everybody. You know, I really don't have nothing for you guys to do tonight, except if you want to take Sean. Let me get part of the building that I am doing now, and let me show you this part, and maybe both of you guys can be a challenge to build this. So hang on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I had a fun time in Albuquerque. I just didn't get a chance to go to any train shops.
Yeah, we're on total lockdown, stay-at-home order here. Nothing's going on. Can't go out, anything.
Really?
Well, they got to catch me.
And they're telling us here that as long as we get our shots, we're free to travel wherever we want to travel.
Yeah. Well, I get my first one on the 24th.
I am undecided if I actually want to go through with that and get one, or my pulmonologist told me I need to get it. He says because any kind of a cold that I get could be detrimental to my health.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to take that chance, though.
So anyhow, if you guys have the ambition to build something like that.
I have the ambition, not the time.
It's just basically it's sort of like an L shape right here. But this, even I have a problem getting this corner square. I mean, it looks like it's not square, but it actually is square. When I measure it and put it on my mat, it is square. But if you guys want to take a little shot at doing this now, what I would suggest to you, if you're going to do this, take one of your walls, either this one or this one, and either run this one all the way back and then build this side piece, or take this one and run it all the way across and run and then build this piece. Just a little hint.
Right. So then you know you are square.
Yes. So what I would do is take the shorter wall and go all the way back to the back wall and then build this little, well, you make this wall longer, okay? And then take this wall here and go back, and then you already have the back wall for this little jet out you got to do right here.
Okay.
All right. So it was hard for me to do it because I didn't put the wall all the way back. If I had put the wall all the way back, it would have came out. It would have been a lot easier for me to do it that way. I decided to do it this way. I don't know why. I was thinking save material or whatever. I don't know what I was thinking.
Good. I can't even
So-
find my. I don't even see my tray around anywhere. I don't even know where my parts are. I just got home and sat down and turned on the video from work.
Oh, I'm trying to catch up on this. I said, yeah, I have someone new in here. Hello, Patton. How's it? Nice to see you in here. Crazy Joe, glad you can make it in tonight.
Joe.
I think I see somebody else in here. William Bryant, I said hello to earlier. CP368, I said hello. All right, I'm caught up with everybody. All right, so let me turn this other camera on.
So we're supposed to have our stuff. I'm such a bad student. I have no idea where my stuff is. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I found it.
All right.
I remember I glued a wall together last time.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just need to clear this off.
Now, I gave you guys your assignments. You don't need to do that right now. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I did this guy. And this is one of the components that's going to be for the Oxnard Travel Center is what they call it. This is going to be, I call it the front entrance. And it may be called the front entrance. But where the clock tower is, they call that the entrance to the station. Anyhow, behind this will be a wall. Another wall with all the doors and the windows and stuff like that. But tonight we're going to concentrate on this piece right here. Now, all I got to do is hope that my second camera is working. And I'll find that out right now. It should be. And it is.
Hey!
All right. It was funny. The other night I couldn't even get StreamYards to boot up. It would not work for me.
Uh-oh.
And I think they got mad at me because I canceled the paid version.
Oh,
Those guys.
I had a bit of trouble booting StreamYard up tonight too. So
I don't know if we'll get this whole thing done tonight, but at least I'm going to show you how I start it and get it all measured out and stuff like that. This building I have on Google Maps. They give you a top view, a helicopter view of the building, and if you right click on it, you can actually make measurements by putting the pointer in one spot and then dragging it across to where you want to go. I did that with this building. So everything I am building is pretty much to scale feet. Okay, for instance, this guy here, oh, sorry, you can't see him. There you go. This guy here is 80 feet from one side to the other side, and it's 35 feet tall. And in here is 22 feet on each one of them, and each one of the pilasters is 3 feet. And I had to work that all out because they don't give you these measurements. They just give you the top views. So all of these measurements in here are guessing. And again, it all comes down to proportion. Okay, and that's why, if you remember in the very beginning, I'll get you back down to the other camera again. I did the mock-up of it, as you can see right here. And what we're doing tonight is this piece right here. And as you can see from the mock-up and my piece that I made today, it fits on there just perfectly. All right, so.
sorry, Vinny, what did you call those columns?
Pilasters.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that term before.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what they're called, pilasters.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do to give this up again, I keep forgetting I'm on the other camera. And what I'm going to do to give this a little bit more depth is I'm going to take this number 149 evergreen styrene. Okay, it is 40,000 stick and 250,000 this way. Okay, it fits perfectly on the pilasters that I made. Okay. And so I'm going to put one on this side and I'm going to put one on the back side, and that's to get covered in brick also. And so it'll give each one of these pilasters a little bit of depth, like it actually is a 3 foot by 3 foot column. All right, so let's put this guy away and let's get down to the drawing board. And squeaky, squeaky. Move him out of the way.
The squeaky wheel should get the grease.
Yeah, right. That's what they say. All right, let me get you down here now. All right, so here we are down at the work area, and we're going to need a few tools here. Of course, we're going to need your scale rule, and this go for you HO guys that are watching also, that if you ever want to do something like this, we're going to start. I always start on the left side and work across, and I don't know why, it's just the way I do it. Let's see, maybe we can get a little bit more light on here. Is that better? And we need to move you this way. All right, so we're going to start from this side and we're going to work across that way. And so I told you that my columns are 3 foot. So we're going to get this lined up. And we're going to 1, 2, 3. And we're going to line there. Now I also told you that between each column is 22 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and mark off 22 feet. And then from that mark, I'll mark another 3 feet. And then from there, another 22 feet.
How did you get the dimensions of 22 feet, Vinny? Like, I don't imagine that Google, you can get that from Google, can you?
No, and that's exactly what I said earlier, that the only measurements that you can get are a topographical view.
Yeah.
So all of this, from all the pictures that Roy sent me, he sent me 27 pictures of this building.
Well, okay, so he did some legwork first then, obviously.
Yeah, did some legwork first. And if I ever need more pictures, John Dilly lives right there. So if I need pictures, I'll call John up and say, hey, John, give me a picture of this angle on this building. He knows the building, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But just looking at the pictures that Roy sent me, I get a perspective of how tall it needs to be, going according to the length and width measurements that I already have.
Right.
Okay, so that's basically how you got to do it. You got to kind of, that's why at the very beginning of this, I told you there was 3 most important tools that you have is this, and this.
Yeah, yeah.
And this comes important when you're doing something like this, because you got to figure out, okay, does this look good? Your eyes and your brain have to work together to know if what you're building looks good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's what I always say, you know. And I told Roy right at the very beginning of this that there was not going to be any way that it's going to be 100% prototypical, because there's some brickwork on that I can't do. I can't duplicate.
Right.
Because I can't get the parts, the material. So in the cases where I can't duplicate what the brickwork is, I will do some other sort of trim work to make it look a little bit better.
As close to possible.
Yeah, as close as possible.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get you back down here now. And are you guys hearing me okay when I'm down here on this picture? Sean, did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Yep.
So we got the first two 22 foot openings, and now we're going to do the last one. Now, something. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I'm saying something didn't work out right. 1, 2, 3. That's what I forgot to do. All right, and then this one here, and it works out perfectly when you come to the end that you do have a 3 foot column left over, so it works out perfectly. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my lines straight up, and for that I will be using this guy. And how I'm going to do this, guys, and it may sound crazy, but as long as this piece that I'm working on is square, I could put it up on any one of the grids on here. Make sure it's square, top and bottom, left to right. And I can use that grid to draw my lines that I need to draw. And these have to be pretty right on for everything else to work out. Okay, that's one. And now once I have that line, I can judge my next line just by eyeballing it. All right. And again, we're going to do this. Square him up. I didn't think I was going to be able to cut these arches out because I did these by hand. I mean, I could have called John Tanzillo up and asked me, hey, John, can you do these walls for me? But I wanted to see because I consider this build to be a challenge for me. And I just wanted to see if I can actually build it and make it look pretty much like what the actual thing is. So all right, and we'll turn this one over. We do the same with him. All right, so now we have what I would consider to be my columns or my posts or my pilasters or whatever you want to call them. Now on the building, from the top of the arch to the top of the wall is a 5 foot. And believe it or not, guys, I actually counted the bricks in the picture to see if I can come up close to what it was supposed to be. Anyhow, I come up with a number that was like about 5 feet or so, considering that bricks are, I would say 3 inches in thickness and plus the mortar lines and all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I came up with. So anyhow, from the top of here to the top of the arch is going to be 5 feet. So we're going to go ahead and mark off 5 feet. Somebody just came in. Who is that? Nathan. Oh, Nathan's here? Sorry, Nathan. I didn't see you in here earlier. There you go. Got you in there now. You guys got to remember when I'm down here working on this bench, I do not see the chat. So please forgive me on that. It's 5 feet. 5 feet there.
Oh, sorry. I had to reset my computer.
5 feet there. Now, you guys may ask, why do I not draw my line with this ruler? The reason is because it's thick right here, and this one's a lot thinner, so I can see the lines a lot better. So now we're just going to go ahead and do this. And again, I'm going to use the lines on the grid of my mat. All right, so now we got our 5 foot space on top. Now, I told you that these inside here were 22 feet. So we need to find the centers. So half of 22 is 11. So we'll do 11 here. And we'll do 11 down at the bottom. And we'll do the same on all 3 of these arches. All right, so we got our vertical center now, and I'm going to draw a line right down the center here. We're not going to see this piece anyhow once it gets cut out. Just draw a line down the center. And do the same thing with this guy. And the same thing with this guy. All right, now we know we're going to put an arch in here, and we know that it's going to be 22 feet. So from the top down, we're going to measure 11 feet also. And that will be our center point for our compass. Yeah, we're going to use a different tool tonight, guys. How about that? All right, so now we got our center. Hopefully, this one doesn't look like it's actually centered. Let me measure this one again. Oh, Vinny made a mistake. See? That's what your eyes tell you. This whole thing has got to come out.
I only believe half of what my eyes see.
I measured something wrong here. What did I do wrong? 22. And this last one should be 3. 1, 2, 3. Something's not right. Let's see what that looks like. Trying to get these, and it's going to be hard for me to cut every one of these out to be exactly the same. But then that's a characteristic of a scratch build. All right, that looks a little bit bad. Actually, looks a little bit too wide. Now, sorry guys. I don't know what happened. It should have came out right, but it didn't. All right. Now, set your compass up. Put one side on your 0 mark, and you put the other side on your 11-foot mark, which this one is already. And we'll go ahead and stick him on that center point that we made earlier. And now, if things are right, it should line up with everything. So here we go. Holy mackerel, I must have done something right. All right, so there's my first arch. And we'll do that for the next 2. And finally, the last one. See, now this one here, I don't know why, unless I don't have it exactly on the point. There we go. All right. There you go. There's all 3 of my arches. So the next part is going to be the hardest and the most tedious part of this, because like I said, I am cutting it out by hand. And I'm only going to cut one of these out tonight for you guys. And we'll see if I have enough time. Maybe I'll cut all 3 of them out, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do it because each one of these takes a few minutes to do. New blade, new project, new blade all the time. And especially because I'm going to be cutting this out, I want the tip not to be broken, because that's what's going to do my cutting for me. All right, so we're going to start at the arch, and then we'll do the straights afterwards. Now, I found by doing the first one, if I keep the blade straight up and down and very lightly on the very first pass, just to follow my drawing, all right. So now doing the second pass should be easy because I already have a groove for my knife to follow. And again, try and keep the knife up straight and make sure you can see the line. I'm kind of keeping the knife still and turning the plastic. Now this is 20,000 styrene that I'm actually using right now. And the reason why I'm using the 20,000s is because it's easier for me to cut what I'm cutting now. And then adding the brickwork on top of it, that's very thin also. So I put one side in, let it dry, cut it, and then put the other side in. You'll see the progress on this. Right, this should be the final pass for this part. Oh yeah, I just felt it go through. All right, you guys can see that, right? All right, so now I'll go ahead and do my straights. Now, hopefully, when I get this one cut out and I match it up with the other side, it will be the same. Otherwise, you got to do the whole thing all over again. All right, there's your first arch. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it looks like it fits. How's that?
Yeah.
All right, well, that didn't take very long, but I'm going to take a break because my eyeballs hurt.
I think I found a different way that's that I cut the windows out.
Oh, you did? How's that?
Like I first what I do is to get an example like the scrap piece. I put this piece of styrene right here, and then I try to cut like this.
Oh, all right. Just be careful because that could be a little detrimental to your fingers. So, what did you think about how I showed you guys to do that?
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to be able to cut those arches out, but it's not too bad. And actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these to cut out, and the ones that I have after this actually have smaller arches in them. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and continue cutting that out, and if we can get that done tonight, I'll be happy. So we'll get back down to the other camera, and we'll keep on going. All right, here we go. Again, I'm going to start on the arch, right where it joins up with the straight, and very gently come around.
Then he's doing it freestyle.
If I had, actually, what I did do, I went out and I bought some hole saws, okay, and I tried using a hole saw for this because it had the exact measurement that I needed. It had the 2 exact measurements that I needed, and when I tried to do it, because I didn't buy the fine tooth ones, I bought the ones with the coarse teeth. It just ripped the hell out of the plastic. It just tore it all up. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Where are you going? I'm a boy from New York. Uh-oh, I went offline. As long as it's to the inside, that's okay.
I can remember there was a tool that we used in metal fab in high school, and it was like a 3-piece, and there were round discs depending on what size of a hole you wanted in the tin. And you put one on the back side, which kind of had a I don't know, I guess what you call kind of a convoluted end, and then the outer disc slid over top of that as you brought it in with a bolt. Like the inner one was threaded. So when you threaded the bolt through the hole in the tin.
Okay, it kind of squished it and cut it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hello, Heath. Glad you can make it in tonight, buddy. JT1, glad to see you in here also. Steve 87 PSAP, glad you can make it in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. We're almost done with the second arch here.
How thick would the Cricut cut the styrene, Steve?
I think it'll cut up to 40 thousandths. I had the opportunity to buy one a while ago, and I think it'll cut up to 40 thousandths thick on the Cricut.
Really? My wife has a couple of them here.
Really?
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd be jumping on that. See, my daughter's got one too, and I'm trying to. She goes, "No, Dad, I'm not. It's not for your plastic. It's just for me to do some designs on cups." So, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there you go. I got two of them cut out. All right, we're working on the last one now.
Oh, thanks, James. Yeah, knockout punch. That makes sense.
What was that?
James Galton had just said what the name of those punches were.
Oh, okay. I can tell you right now, there's going to be a lot of this brick material I'm going to be using. True.
My tray doesn't help me do quarters. I must be doing it wrong.
All right, guys and gals, there you go. 3 arches. Done. So the next step would be, and of course this piece is not going to be wide enough. Why would it be? So let me pull out some more inventory here. This is the third pack of this brick stuff that I'm going to be using. Okay.
That whole building is brick, isn't it?
The entire building. The entire building. 2 sheets in here. $10 for the 2-pack.
They look like a fair size sheet, though.
Oh, they are. They're a little bit bigger than the Evergreen. The Evergreen 6x12. These I think are. I think they're 7 inches this way.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But why should I tell you that when I could just measure it? 7.5. 7.5 by 12. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the lamination and make sure these bricks are so small. Make sure you put it in the right orientation. Vertical instead of horizontal.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back down here again. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece that's going to be 80 feet long. All right. Now I know on an end scale, 6 inches equals 80 feet. All right. All right, and I think, let's see, we got to go 35 feet tall. Here. Here. Just for 35 feet. You guys wish for me to keep doing these clinics?
Sorry, what was that, Vinny?
I said, you guys want me to continue on these clinics?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it.
because what I'm going to be doing probably is I will probably dedicate this Tuesday nights to working on this particular model. And so you guys get to see how I do the whole thing from pretty much
Sure.
here on out. Like I said
That's
in my-
great, Vinny. I'll be here when I can.
Okay, I'm not.
Should be
I don't have
good.
I don't have a gun to your head, so whenever you could be here, for your benefit.
I appreciate that.
Shay's N scale says you need to check your mic, Vinny.
Why is that?
Well, it sounds a little low. I don't know. Are you?
Okay, you know why? Because this is a new mic and it's directional. And if I don't have
Okay.
if I don't have it right in front of me, the voice will get low, and I forget to move it over when I switch cameras. I do have a lapel mic I could be using, which would probably be better for this. All right. So now we have our piece, and I might be doing a what do I want to call it? A comparison on different types of adhesives. I just bought this one here, which is the Fowler Expert, and I'm waiting for another Tamiya to come in, and then I'll have about 4 or 5 different types of adhesives to show you guys and how they work and so on and so forth. That's coming up. Okay, so now we get back down here again. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some glue in there. And we're going to be using my Model Masters glue. And we're just going to go around the perimeter. Just go right around the entire perimeter. Make sure you get on the edges real good. And you guys, I did something wrong here. You guys know what I did wrong? Come on now. I preach it to you all the time. And I screwed up and didn't do it.
You didn't sand it before you glued it?
Congratulations, you got it. I didn't knock down the burrs from cutting when I was cutting it. All right, so now make sure we have our brick in the right orientation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this and I'm going to put them edge to edge like that and just going to flop it up there. And this glue here, you do have a little bit of working time. I did cut it short. We'll fix that later. All right, so once I get that done, we do that, and we let it sit there for a couple hours until it's good and dry, and then we will, I would just use the arch that I already cut out to cut out the brick part. And we'll wind up with things that look like this. See, that's what I mean. There's going to be so much. I'm going to try and use up all those little pieces, of course. I'm not going to let them go to waste, but I don't think, everything on here is big. So those little pieces aren't going to help me. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let me move the mic back over here so you guys can hear me. All right, so have you been getting anything out of these little clinics that I've been doing?
Yes.
Well, I have for sure. I've been getting lots of it. I mean, This is the first time I've really done any scratch building at all.
All right, and I see I got Wilmer into doing some scratch building also now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So, and I'm proud of him because the stuff he's doing is actually working out pretty nice, really nice, All right. Hello, Grandpa Rails. How's it going, buddy? Hey, and I got the one down vote. All right, I love it. Then 20,000 should be fine for most builds. Steve, I would not go less than 30,000 on a build, only because you can see how flimsy this really is. Now, I started this build using this, and then I put a layer of the brick on the front and a layer of brick on the back, and it made it like really, really sturdy. So that's what that's the reason why I'm using this, is because it's easy to cut, and I'll be able to layer it and get what I want to get out of it without too much hard work. Hello, John Nofel. How's it going? Well, maybe next week you should join in our clinic that I have going on here. Roy Eltham says he's been learning. Hey, Roy, you can't learn because otherwise who's going to do your next build for you? Just got to give Roy a hard time. All right, let's see. Say, why should you want to use anything thicker? It's just for number one, the strength, and number two, warpage. The thicker plastic does not warp as easily as a thinner plastic will. If I would just use this the way it is, and it's weird that you can see through it. It's white. I don't. It's weird. But anyhow, if I would build a building out of this, and I have with the for sale signs that are about this thickness, and they warped on me. I've used these for roof, the size plastic for roofs, and it warped on me. That's why I say I personally do not go less than 30,000 to build a structure. That's just my own opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion on what to use and how to use it. So, you know, I can only tell you what I use. I appreciate that, Roy. Hello, Ken Amos Jr. How's it going, buddy? I appreciate that comment. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right. So, unfortunately, I don't want to cut this out now while it's still wet. So we'll just wait for it to dry up a little bit. Like I said, it won't be done in this. I'll probably finish this while I'm off camera, and then maybe next week we'll get into one of the side walls that I need to do for this build also. When I mean side walls, I'm talking about the length. And there is one archway there and one archway there. But on this side, it's different. On this side, there's two here and one here. So yeah, it's kind of weird how they got that all set up. And then on the inside, I mocked this up when I was mocking up the building itself. But behind this right here, you will see this. Can you guys see the windows and doors?
Yep.
That's what you're going to see in there. And of course, this wall also will be all brick. And all the windows and doors are painted a chocolate brown. So it works very well with the brick color.
I would, yeah. So with the mortar lines being so thin on that brick, Vinny, how are you going to?
I'm not. I already gave it a try, and I had some white paint that I watered down really, really thin. It was just basically water, really. And I ran it down, and I put it on the top and see if it would drip into the mortar lines. It wouldn't do it. So I don't know how I'm going to achieve that problem, but I am thinking about it, and I will come up with some sort of solution for that. But they are. If you look at this N-scale brick, the mortar lines are really tiny. These are supposed to be, I think, TT scale. These brick. Now I don't remember if TT is smaller or bigger than N-scale. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But anyhow, like I said earlier, I actually counted the bricks on the pictures that Roy sent me on the top of those arches to try and get that spacing as correct as I could. And I assumed that each brick is about 3 inches or 2.5 inches thick. My guess. I'm not going to go out and measure a brick, But that's what I'm thinking. It's probably maybe 6 inches long by 2 inches wide by 2 inches deep. So TT equals 1/20.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that information.
So are you ahead of schedule on the build, or are you on par?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you're ahead of schedule.
Yeah. I told Roy that it's probably going to take me about 8 months to do this build. But like I tell you guys all the time, everybody and anybody could put 4 walls together. And basically that's all this is 4 walls.
Yeah.
The problem with this build is the roofs is where I'm going to have the problem. That looks good, Nathan. That looks really good.
Thank you. Can you see the brickwork?
I can't see the brickwork. No.
Oh. It might be
Oh, yeah,
hard
there
to
you
see.
go. All right. Yeah, I see it. Did you scribe that in yourself?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Very nice. So, yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to overcome that problem. In fact, I was actually thinking of spraying this building another color. I mean, in the same family, but a different color. Like I was looking at, what did I do here? This is burnt sienna that's on here, and I don't know if you guys are going to see that. It's like a darker brown color, and it almost matches that. So, like these parts in here where they're white, there's no way I could put a brick in there.
No.
I mean, you're talking about 1 millimeter thick, you know.
Yeah.
So there's no way that I could put bricks in there. So what I'm gonna do is either find a color that will match us better and just give that a little paint job in there, or I had painted these a while ago, and what they are is strips of styrene that I painted in a concrete color. And what I would do with these is just line the inside of these walls up with that, and it would look like a concrete fascia on top of the brick. You know, that's one option I have for that. As far as the mortar lines, I don't know how I'm going to do those, to be honest.
Yeah.
What
if you
there are guys that do it. I just don't know how they do it, you know, and how much patience they have to do it.
Well, even if you were to lightly maybe dust it with a white paint and then go over with a similar color, you know, kind of dry brush over top with the similar color of the brick.
Well, I think what I'm going to do to make it kind of look like that is I'm going to put a white wash on the entire building, so it will dull the bricks down a little bit, and it might also give the appearance. It might also give the appearance of the mortar lines being done.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so what I'll do is I'll take pieces, you know, of plastic that I'm not going to be able to use later on, and I'll just mess around with it and see how I can get it.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you're ahead of the game, you could always take a paintbrush, pull all the bristles out but one.
I'd have to wear this on top of this on top of this to do that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Funny. Oh God. All right. So what else you got here? Hey, Ron, how's it going, buddy? Try lightweight spackle. Really? Huh. Okay. That's an idea. Ron, if you guys don't know, if you guys don't know Ron from New Haven Rails, he does a lot of laser etched wood kits, and he's got a pretty nice layout. Also, you guys need to check him out if you get a chance. It's New Haven Rails is his YouTube name.
Actually, that might work. You know, the spackle, the lightweight spackle. You put it on with maybe a wet sponge, like you would grout tile.
Yeah, but you know these lines. I mean, I'm going to get how close I can get this up to the camera, and if you can see the lines on there.
Just barely, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
that's good. I can see them, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'd be kind of hard to do, But like I said, I have all these little extra pieces laying around now. I'll have to experiment and see what's the best way for me to do that and to achieve what I want to achieve to make the building look good.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem, Ron. I appreciate the work that you do, buddy. Ron is big into harbor scenes, and that's what he's working on his layout right now. And Ron, I don't remember your buddy that lives in Florida, Joe. I think his name was Joe. Ron went down to Florida to help his buddy. They used to live in the same place, but then this guy, Joe, I think his name was Joe, moved to Florida, and Ron went down to Florida to help Joe build his harbor scene. It was pretty cool. All right, well, now to figure out what's for dinner tonight.
That's always the topic.
I just get tired. I get just tired of eating the same stuff all the time, And I try, when I go food shopping, I'm basically food shopping online now because I don't go to the grocery store. I have it delivered. It's like,
yeah.
I don't want to walk around with my mask and my oxygen on because I have to wear my oxygen when I start walking around a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I put the mask over the oxygen, it knocks the hose out of my nose. So it's a losing battle.
Yeah.
Arby's salad bar. That sounds good. I will send you an email with the spackle product. Okay, I appreciate that, Ron. Thank you very much. So Mystic Southern says I should try the Arby's salad bar. I tell you, Chipotle's got a new thing out now. They got some quesadillas, but they're only online orders. Dave being SF said, Arby's salad bar with a question mark? Tacos we had in New Zealand. Actually, even Taco Bell's got a new $5 box out now.
Well, it'll be $5 for you guys. It's probably 10 for us.
Really? Oh, I wanted to ask you, if I would mail something to Canada,
Mm-hmm.
do you guys have to pay a duty in order to collect it?
Sometimes depends on what it is.
Oh, it depends on what it is. Like if I decide to send a shirt, a T-shirt.
If you mark it as a gift, then there shouldn't be any duty and taxes on it.
All right.
But if you shipped it like it was a product, then yeah, there would be taxes and that on it.
I learned that a long time ago, that you always put it as a gift, so so the receiver doesn't have to pay any extra to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just went through that before Christmas time with a hobby store down. I can't remember, somewhere on the East Coast down there. I can't remember the name of the place, but nowhere in the purchase order and all that was there anything about taxes and duties on it. So when it came here, UPS guy had a bill for $114 or $115, which was about more than half the cost of the locomotive.
Really? Roy Eltham says he tried the Chipotle quesadilla. He says it's decent. All right. Treat yourself. Mystic Southern says, go treat myself, get a ribeye. Yeah, that's actually, I thought you did something. I do, Joe. I do cook. Only if it's hard for me to cook just for myself because I always have leftovers and I can never finish all the leftovers. So basically I'm wasting food by, whatever I can't eat after the second day or whatever, it goes in the garbage, So,
Well, you can make another big tray of that lasagna and freeze it.
Yeah, I can do that, except when I bought this house, I left the appliance picking out for my daughter. Okay. So she picked this refrigerator to side by side, and I hate it. because I think that a side by side you lose a lot of room.
Oh yeah, you would.
The freezer
Yeah.
shelves are like this big and this deep, and and there's that much room in between them, and it's like you can't get nothing in there.
You put a couple ice trays in there for your drinks, and then you've got no room for anything else.
Really? So I was very tempted at one point to sell this refrigerator and buy a new one, like a traditional with the freezer on the top or a freezer on the bottom, whatever.
Yeah, if you get one with the freezer on the bottom, like the drawer, they hold a lot more than the.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, I don't want to spend another $2,000 for a freaking refrigerator.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
That's what I paid for this one, and I bought this one 8 years ago. 8 years ago when I bought this house is when I bought that refrigerator, and the refrigerator, washer, and dryer came out to like $2,300.
Wow!
And it's just a machine, It does What's so big about that? Big deal. I can make all kinds of adjustments with buttons and get all these beeping sounds and stuff.
Well, yeah, everything's computerized nowadays, and as soon as the warranty's done and over with, they break.
Yep, exactly.
And the worst part is they're connected online.
I had a friend of mine in California. We went to visit last year, 2 years ago, actually. And one of his friends was a friend of mine also. He works on appliances, okay? And he says the biggest junk out there, he was naming all these brands that he said the biggest junk was this, and this, and this. I said, really? He said, wow. I said, how does Samsung stack up against that?
Samsung should stick to phones and TVs, and that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like I said, I bought the washer and dryer and the refrigerator 8 years ago, and also my TV, which is actually 2 years older than that, and they're all Samsung.
Yeah.
And I'll knock on wood that I had not had any problems with them. So
yeah. Well, that's good.
And Royce says, buy a fridge that tells you you're out of stuff. Small chest freezers are fairly cheap. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call this good. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do this tonight. And maybe we'll continue on doing this. Like I said, if you guys want to do that like little L-shaped project on your own, go ahead and do it. Doors and windows would be up to you. You're going to design the building and build the building. And I want to see what you have in mind maybe next week.
All right. Sounds
okay.
Well, thanks for having us along again tonight, Vinny.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I appreciate you being here and giving me your
Thanks,
time.
Vinny.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.